July 12, 2025, Washington, D.C. Facing intensifying pressure from conservative critics over her handling of the Jeffrey Epstein investigation, Attorney General Pam Bondi on Saturday ordered the Department of Justice to drop all charges against a Utah plastic surgeon accused of falsifying vaccination records and deceiving patients during the COVID-19 pandemic. Dr. Michael Kirk Moore Jr. and three members of his practice had been on trial in Salt Lake City for a scheme in which they allegedly destroyed government-issued coronavirus vaccines, injected patients with saline upon request, and issued fraudulent vaccine cards, all while the nation grappled with pandemic-era mandates. Bondi's surprise move to halt the case, which began during the previous administration under Attorney General Merrick Garland, arrives as she faces increasing calls for her resignation from within the MAGA movement. The timing of her intervention has fueled speculation that her decision was influenced by political concerns tied to recent backlash over the Justice Department's closure of the Epstein inquiry. In a post to the platform X, Bondi condemned the Moore prosecution as an example of government overreach and praised the doctor for honoring his patients' personal medical choices. She thanked Senator Mike Lee of Utah and Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia for bringing the case to her attention, an unusually direct acknowledgement of political coordination in a prosecutorial matter. The federal judge presiding over the trial must still approve the dismissal. The Justice Department has also moved to drop charges against Kristen Jackson Anderson, another Moore associate who had opted to go to trial. However, no such action was taken for the two additional defendants who had pleaded guilty earlier. The move follows Bondi's now controversial statements earlier this year, in which she promised to unveil truckloads of evidence in the Epstein case, including a so-called client list that she claimed was on my desk. However, in a joint memo released this week, the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation stated that no such client list exists and that further disclosure of Epstein-related materials would be neither appropriate nor warranted. In response to the growing controversy, President Donald Trump issued a public show of support for Bondi, dismissing Epstein-related criticisms as distractions. "Let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great," he declared on Truth Social, urging federal investigators to shift focus to voter fraud and political corruption instead.